Marcus typed furiously on his keyboard, eyes scanning line after line of patient data. The hum of fluorescent lights overhead did nothing to calm his nerves. Footsteps approached, heavy, purposeful. Marcus's spine prickled with dread. He hit a quick command to minimize the window showing the sensitive records.
Morning, Marcus. We're conducting a random system integrity check. We'll need to look at your machine.
Sure thing.
I'll do it. Just standard procedure.
Marcus scooted aside, swallowing the knot in his throat.
Interesting.
Problem?
Some log timestamps look off. Could be a glitch.
Must be. We've had some server issues lately, right?
Possibly. We did patch the server last week.
If he opens the folder where I saved the real data, if the logs show that I transferred those patient files, how long will this take?
Just a few more minutes. It's probably nothing, but I'll pass this along to the security team for a deeper look.
Sure, let me know if you need anything else.
Alan left, and only then did Marcus release the breath he'd been holding. Across town, Henry tapped restlessly on his Chromebook in computer class. His teacher had assigned a group project to create a simple website, but Henry's mind was elsewhere. On the advanced parser he'd been coding at home, and on the tension that clouded Dad's face the night before. He remembered the half-finished conversation with Marcus.
I need your help, but it's risky.
Dad had said, eyes heavy with worry. Henry wanted to prove he could handle it, that he wasn't just a kid, yet the pit in his stomach told him this wasn't some small favor. It was a life-or-death secret that might tear their family apart if discovered. When the lunch bell rang, he drifted to the cafeteria, laptop in hand. Finding a quiet spot, he pulled up his personal project. He'd refined the code to scan large CSV files for drug combinations that spelled trouble. It was all hypothetical. He didn't dare try it on real medical data unless Dad explicitly asked. But the more Henry polished his code, the more anxious he became. What if Dad needed it yesterday? He pictured Dad's drawn face and repeated the mantra he'd been clinging to.
If we can save someone, it's worth the risk, right?
Meanwhile, Alice was on break at the hospital, sipping stale coffee in a cramped nurse's lounge. She tapped a pencil against her open textbook. She was supposed to be reviewing material for her RN exam, but her mind kept drifting to Marcus and the family's precarious situation. The memory of their conversation replayed in her head.
One more slip and I could lose my job,
Marcus had said. She'd felt the raw determination in his voice. He couldn't stand by after losing Paul. Now another patient was in danger, but would helping them ultimately spell ruin? Her phone buzzed with a text from Henry, only a few words.
Hey Mom, everything okay at home?
She smiled faintly, moved by his concern.
At 13, he's already worrying more than he should.
She typed back a quick reassurance, though she wasn't sure how much comfort a simple text could provide when their entire world felt ready to collapse. A couple of hours after Alan's visit, Marcus's phone pinged with an email notification. Marcus's throat constricted. He clicked it open. His palms went clammy, so the IT team definitely flagged something.
I can't just do nothing. If they're on to me, it's only a matter of time before they find real evidence.
He'd hidden the actual sensitive files on a small partition of the USB drive, encrypted under layers of innocuous code files.
Should I destroy it?
At 1:45 p.m., Marcus locked his computer, the plastic ID badge around his neck feeling heavier than usual.
Marcus, I'm in the middle of a shift. What's wrong?
They ran a security check this morning. It found something suspicious in my logs. Stephanie wants to see me again at 2. I'm not sure how long I can cover up my searches.
A pause. He could practically feel Alice wrestling with the ethical gravity versus the family's fragile finances.
I will. I will not let hash 8493A die.
Marcus arrived at Stephanie Hammond's office precisely at 2 p.m. The glass-walled room provided little privacy. Employees passing by could see them talking.
Marcus, thank you for coming.
Of course.
We'd like to clarify some recent activity on your account. Our logs indicate repeat deep dives into patient-level data. You're aware of the protocol, yes?
Yes, I was investigating risk patterns, but I've already explained. Maybe I pushed too far. It won't happen again.
We need to confirm there's no unauthorized transfer or misuse of records. If we find more irregularities, the company will have no choice but to escalate.
Understood. I assure you I haven't taken any data for personal use.
We'll be in touch soon. Don't leave early. We may need additional info.
Her dismissive wave ended the meeting. Marcus departed, exhaling shakily.
No immediate crisis, but the net is tightening.
That evening, Henry paced in the living room, a restless ball of energy. Isabel, 10, and Caleb, 8, were bickering over cartoons on TV, while baby Jacob babbled in his playpen.
Hi, guys.
When Marcus finally returned, he looked wrung out. His gaze flicked to Henry, then to Alice, who emerged from the kitchen.
Any news?
They haven't fired me yet, but the security guy was practically breathing down my neck.
Alice's face tightened with worry. She gently steered him into the study, signaling Henry to follow.
I need to do something about hash 8493A. But if they catch me accessing that file again...
I can do it. Use my parser. We'll keep it offline, at home. No more logs at work.
A wave of guilt and relief washed over Marcus. He hated putting Henry in the crosshairs, but it might be their best shot.
We have to move fast. Patient hash 8493A just got a new prescription that could trigger a fatal reaction.
An anonymous tip, Marcus, that's all. No personal visits like with Paul.
Okay, let's load the data.
His fingers flew over the keys with the dexterity of someone who'd done it countless times. Marcus inserted the USB. Heart thudding, he watched lines of text flash across the screen. Henry's parser flagged hash 8493A in glaring red. Another handful of high-risk cases glowed yellow.
All these patients could be at risk. Dad, this is bigger than just one or two.
We start with hash 8493A. We do what we can for them quickly. Then we figure out what next.
They worked in tense silence until well past midnight. Henry tested ways to generate an untraceable email or phone call to alert a local clinic that hash 8493A needed immediate medication review.
Mention the drug combos specifically. That'll raise enough red flags for them to call the patient without referencing us.
At last, they compiled a careful plan. Marcus would send the tip from a throwaway email account referencing the key prescriptions.
We did it!
Henry slumped back in his chair, exhaustion lidding his eyes. But the victory felt hollow, overshadowed by the knowledge that more risky combos lurked in the data. Dozens, maybe hundreds.
Get some sleep. We'll manage the rest of the data later, one step at a time.
Marcus rubbed Henry's shoulder. Henry nodded, quietly leaving the study. Alice gathered up a medical reference book and shot Marcus a pointed look.
Be careful. Just because you didn't access the file at work anymore doesn't mean you're safe from the audit.
Marcus knew she was right. He disconnected the USB drive, tucking it into a nondescript envelope.
Unknown number again?
He unlocked it and read the terse message.
They know. Someone at Medallion is onto me, or maybe more than one person. If they've tracked it this far...
Marcus.
I can't stop, not now, but I'll be careful.
I just don't want to lose you, or see you behind bars, or watch our kids suffer again.
She nodded, a tear slipping free. Holding her trembling body, Marcus felt the magnitude of the path he'd chosen. Saving a stranger's life might condemn his own family to danger, but letting another Paul die? Unthinkable. Long past midnight, the house finally lay still. Marcus crept out to the dimly lit living room, mind whirling. Outside, a gust of wind lashed the branches of the old oak tree. He stared at the swirling shadows on the walls, reminded of how precarious his situation was. The data was hidden, but for how long? Stephanie Hammond and the security team might uncover digital breadcrumbs. And whoever sent that anonymous text clearly knew he was prying into restricted records.
Could they go after Henry too if they found out he helped?
He closed his eyes, exhaling a shaky breath.
I have to keep going carefully. For hash 8493A, for Paul's memory, for Alice, for Henry, Isabel, Caleb, and baby Jacob.
The weight was crushing, but he couldn't stop now. Somewhere in the hush of the house, the faint sound of Henry's steady breathing reached Marcus's ears. His son, so eager to help, so unaware of the full cost. In that moment, fatherly protectiveness swelled in Marcus's chest. This was no longer just a moral quandary, it was an all-out war for the soul of his family. He stepped to the window, peering into the moonlit street. His reflection gazed back, tired eyes, lines of worry etched deep.
I won't let you die, hash 8493A, and I won't lose my family either.
A rush of wind rattled the window, almost as if echoing the tumult within him. Clenching his fists, Marcus retreated to bed, determined to snatch whatever restless sleep he could. Tomorrow would bring fresh battles, the relentless audit at Medallion, the fear of discovery, and the knowledge that time was ticking for more patience. Yet, for the first time in weeks, a thread of hope glimmered. He had a plan, a partner in his son, and a fierce belief that saving even one life could justify the risks, if only it wouldn't cost him everything else.